So it's left to Alonso, who has a pair of doubles today, and the only time he was retired, he had a scorching line drive to left field that was caught. He's got 28 career home runs now against the Marlins. And Alonso drives one deep center field. Sanoja back, takes a look, and it's out of here! Pete Alonso ties the game with a 3-run homer. Dead central into the greenery. On a day when the Mets have been falling all over themselves, Alonso's been front and center, hitting bullets all over the ballpark, and that one clears the wall to tie the game.
Swing and a drive in the air to deep center field. Samoa back, and there she goes. Home run! Pete Alonso, dead central, onto the grassy knoll to the right of the 400 mark. He has tied the game. A great at-bat for Alonso, a 3-run homer, his second home run of the year. We're all even. The Mets 4, the Marlins 4.
And he stood there, took a couple of steps, and said, I gotcha. 113 miles an hour off the bat, 415 feet. He knew it as soon as he swung to tie the game. Wow.
So this time, with the bases loaded and nobody out, they're going to play the infield back at double play depth. Wicker will likely take a pitch, and he does, and it's ball 4, and the Mets have the lead. Curry not even close on 3-0. Walks Winker to force in Soto with the go-ahead run, and the Mets lead at 5-4 in the 11th.
3-0, here's the pitch. Way upstairs, ball 4. It forces in a run. The Mets are leading by a score of 5-4.
You can really start to think, now that you have the lead, to really lick your chops here, get a big inning out of this.
So the Marlins are down to their final out. Otto Lopez will be the batter. Brazoban ready for the 1-2. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Huascar Brazoban earns his first major league save. Pete Alonso's 3-run homer gets the Mets even, and the Mets scratch out 2 in the 11th and beat the Marlins 6-5.
Put it in the books. The Mets escape by taking 2 out of 3 from the Marlins. They'll come home to open the home season at Citi Field off of a 500 road trip at 3-3, and they had to come from behind to do this.
We want the market price lobster and to know the market price.
How much is whatever the market says?
Sadly, we can't have it all, except at Sport.
Where we check in with the pros. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. You know me. I'm always screwing something up. I try to get too fancy there at the end, and I should have just kept it clean. But good to be with you guys once again. We figured we started with a little bit of highlights of what ended up being a good ending to what was shaping up to be not a fun opening road trip to the season. But before we get into all that, let's say hello to my partner, Eddie. Eddie, how you doing, brother?
Hector, I am doing well. I'm feeling good, man. I didn't have much hope yesterday. And then Pete Alonso comes up. He battles. And he battled in that at-bat. Battling. Fouled off about, it had to be at least 3 or 4 pitches. And then you're waiting because the time runs on board. You knew if Pete didn't get him here, it was over. That was it. But Pete buckled down, let it come to him, and boom, tied that game. And there was a point, heck, that wasn't even going to be a win. But our defense bailed us out, and our pitching and hitting came through when we needed it. So I'm feeling good, brother, because we almost were down, we almost went into our home opener under 500. And that to me would have been unacceptable. Right now, I'm feeling good, Hector. I'm feeling very, very good.
No, yeah. I mean, I think you nailed it. Definitely feeling good. And mainly, like you said, because of Pete. I don't know about our defense holding it down or what you said. Our defense almost killed us last night.
But key play to that whole game was that ground out to short where Lindor hit it through a fucking bullet right to the catcher. They called him safe. And then we went to that replay and we overturned. That changed everything.
Well, actually, no. That play was Beatty, wasn't it? That was the play with Beatty.
Whoever it was, whether it was Beatty or Lindor.
Yeah, no, because there was 2 plays at home, but the first one was Beatty.
The one where they replayed, I thought that was like
Beatty made the bad throw up the first base line, and Torrens came back and was able to make a phenomenal tag. Yeah, that's the one that was replayed. And then later on in the game, there was also another play at home. That was the one that's Lindor, where he also threw home. But before all of that, we had Vientos throw a ball away to
Yeah.
home. Vientos throw a ball away to first base. And we're going to talk a little bit about Vientos and all that good stuff and Torrens and how great he's been. But I think you touched on something that we have to open up with is and how Pete has carried the load and how good it has been to see Pete carry the load. Especially when everything that went on coming into the season, and all eyes are on Pete. All eyes are on Pete. Whether you wanted him to come back or you didn't want him to come back, whether you like how he came back or not, everybody. If you wanted him to come back, you want him to do well because you believe in him and you want him to get off to a fast start because there's going to be people watching to try to get on his back. If you didn't want him to come back, or if you're skeptical about him coming back and you don't like what he's hitting in the batting order, you're going to be watching, and every time he comes up in these situations, you're going to be expecting him to fail. You know what I'm saying? But it hasn't been that. It's been truly a great season so far for Pete Alonso, and now the last couple of games, it's just been out of this world type stuff. But yeah, what do you think so far with what we've seen with Pete Alonso?
I mean, what's there to say, man? I mean, the guy's been absolutely unbelievable. The at-bats that he's having, and again, I have to give him credit here to the Juan Soto effect. These pitching staffs, they're scared of Soto. And by being scared of Soto, to me, they're taking Pete Alonso lightly. And Pete Alonso is making other teams pay for their transgressions. Everybody's looking to get around Soto. But guess what? We still got a guy up there that put 52 home runs up in a season. We still got a guy up there who's going to break the record for most home runs as a Met. All right? And he came back, and this guy he's been carrying the offense. I mean, again, he's the guy who's had a grand slam, tying 3-run game home run. You can't ask for more out of Pete Alonso right now. And again, I think it's also the Juan Soto effect. Signing Juan it's been a difference, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it the way that these pitching staffs approach the Mets. And it's nice, Hector. It's very, very nice.
No, for sure. And the funny thing is that Pete Alonso is yet to take off, too. Really, I mean, Juan Soto is really yet to take off, in my opinion. People are going to talk about the walks and this and that stuff. But listen, I didn't bring Juan Soto here to be a table setter. But that's me. But yeah, no, listen, Pete, last night, the 3-for-4 with the 3-run home run on the heels of the grand slam. But that's another thing that I love about what we've seen with Pete Alonso is not hitting the solo home runs. It's hitting the home run when it's men on base, when you need the home run. That you out on top of that, the 286 average with the OPS of 1.090. I believe he has about 5 walks on the season to go with only 2 strikeouts.
Yeah.
To go with only 2 strikeouts. And as you highlighted, I believe a little while ago, maybe it was backstage, but the battle that he put in that at bat last night, where he fought off slider after slider. A couple of them that maybe he could have taken, but they were close enough to swing at. But for him to stay alive, to finally get his fastball and then not to miss it, you know what I'm saying? Like we've seen a lot of times too, where he misses it or he gets frozen on it. But just Pete has just been on his game.
He's locked in.
Confident. Yeah, he's just locked in, and it's been great to watch.
Yeah, and look, man, this is where people have had a problem with the batting order and stuff. This is where why I say keep this lineup the way it is, because yes, Lindor hasn't been going. Soto's been walking a lot, but really hasn't hit too many. He hit the 1 home run, but he hasn't been locked in, getting hits, home runs, things like that. But we're seeing the effect that he's having on a lineup that's helping other guys out. And it's just a matter of time now. Other guys are going to start get into the groove, and we have a chance to do something special. You just got to hope guys stay locked in, Hector, and guys that aren't locked in get locked in. You know what I mean? No,
for sure. And I always say, right, it's hard to expect a team for everybody to be hot at the same time. But ideally, what you would want is for 2 or 3 guys to, be on fire. Maybe one guy is super hot like Pete is right now, and another 1 or 2 other guys are just chipping in or, doing good enough that then, not struggling like everybody else. And I think we have that a little bit with Brandon Nimmo, who, it's not like he's been phenomenal. He's striking out a little bit too much for my liking, as I believe he has about 6 strikeouts so far in the year.
What's
But
his stats? Like we can. I'd like to get a
let's
look
see
at
if I
Nemo's
got
stats.
him here. Just some brief stats that I have for Brandon Nimmo would
Just off the top.
be. No, yeah. Oops. As I get confused here.
You figure he's around 20-something at bats in, right? I mean, somewhere along there.
No, yes, he does. He has
There we
24 at bats,
Yeah,
2 home runs, just 3 RBIs with a 250 average and a 780 OPS. And like I said, he also has I believe it's 6 strikeouts.
Okay.
Let me see as I look at that here myself. Yeah, 6 strikeouts, and just 1 walk.
Yeah.
Which is uncharacteristic of Brandon Nimmo, right? You have Pete Alonso with 5 walks, I believe it is. Yeah, 5 base on balls, and you have Brandon Nimmo with only 1 base on ball. But like I said, he's been that other guy who's also playing well as far as offense, where you don't have everybody struggling, where you don't have just one guy carrying the full load,
Yeah. Look, man, Nimmo's a guy that, a lot of people overlook. I think us Mets fans kind of overlook, Nimmo in a lot of ways. We've kind of, I guess the spotlight's sort of not on him anymore. He's not leading off games anymore. He's moved down in the lineup. And to me, I think it's a good thing because he's a guy that, he's worked on his game. He's worked on his power. He's trying to hit more home runs, and I get it. And I originally wasn't a proponent of putting Nimmo in the 4 spot, but Hector, I got to tell you, I think you were right about this with Nimmo hitting cleanup. I think it's where he has to be because I don't see another spot for him that's better. And he's a guy that he hasn't even been walking yet, right? This guy hasn't been walking, and that's a big part of his game.
Yeah.
So if he starts, he's already
hasn't been walking and he has been striking out a lot. Sorry to interrupt you, which I don't like. 6 strikeouts to 1 walk. That's not good for Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah, look, you got to take the good with the bad, but just keep it up. Keep being that sneaky good hitter that he is. And that's what he's doing. He's playing sneaky good. I'm watching him go opposite. He's hitting the ball hard with authority to the opposite field, and that's a good thing, He was at one point in the season last year, he was dead set on pulling everything. So yeah. I like Nimmo's approach recently. I like what he's been doing.
No, absolutely. And we need Nimmo to be, to be that guy, and especially if Pete keeps going the way that Pete's going, now Pete is going to be getting pitched around.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? And now that puts the load on Nimmo to be the guy that drives the guys in and stuff like that. Now, obviously, if you have a situation where there's 2 guys on and all the bases loaded or whatever like that, they're going to have to pitch to Pete. And that's wwhy we need Juan Soto. I mean, we need Francisco Lindor to pick it up, but we'll touch on that. I want to stay, since we started with positive, just running through my head. And you know what? Before we do that, how about this, Eddie? Let's say hello to everybody.
Yeah.
Rude of me. Let's say hello to the chat. But the chat is so good, it's hard to keep up. These guys are phenomenal. They come in here and then they start dropping in comments. Cindy is great. Cindy put this in there before we even started. Appreciate you, Cindy. Appreciate you letting everybody know what they need to do, which is smash them thumbs up buttons and hit that subscribe button, hit that retweet, hit that share, all that good stuff. But yeah, appreciate you. My guy Darren, we appreciate you, brother. Who else up in here? Stanley. Hello. And then Stan.
Shout out
my
to the
guy
chat.
Jeffrey. What's up?
Coming through.
Yeah, man. Shout out to all you guys. And you guys know how we do. I'm going to try to come in there and maybe answer some questions and highlight your comments or whatever the case may be. Yeah. If you see me just highlight your comment, it's just my way of saying hello to you guys and acknowledge that you guys are in the building. But just wanted to do that briefly real quick. But back to this, Eddie. Another huge positive that we talked about it briefly, and you almost went off, and I'm like, no, save it for the show, Eddie, save it for the show. And it's my guy Torrens. And unfortunately, I don't have all his numbers all laid out on a graphic or anything like that. but I can read them out if we need
Yeah.
to. If I can even figure out how to get back to this stuff. Got too much going on here, guys. No, I get them. Here we go. We got Luis Torrens, who has, I believe, is 3 caught stealing. We saw him come in last night.
He has 3 calls.
He's
three
caught
runners.
3 guys. He's caught 3 runners. He caught 2 last night, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's thrown out. He's thrown out, not caught.
Yeah, he's thrown out 3 guys trying to steal. I don't know why anybody tries to steal on him. I believe
he's got a cannon.
Yeah, he threw out 2 last night, Eddie. He came in the game, I think it was the 7th or 8th inning. The guy wasn't even playing all game and turned out to be huge. We mentioned the play before at the plate. There was 2 plays at the plate, actually. The one with Beatty. The one with Lindor was pretty smooth. Lindor threw it. It was like perfect. Boom, boom. You couldn't kind of like mess that up. Though we've seen Alvy kind of mess us as much as we love Alvy. But here you have Torrens, who's also been another positive as far as offense. He even started the rally last night, even though he didn't end up scoring, but he ended up getting the hit in front of the Pete home run and all that good stuff. But Torrens for the year, what is he? 5 for 16 for a 313 average, 353 on base, 625 slugging for a 978 OPS. Now, is he going to keep up that pace?
No.
Probably not. But so far, so good. People were worried. Oh my gosh, what are we going to do without Alvin? I'm like, no. Hey, listen, Torrens is pretty damn good.
Yeah,
Torrens is pretty damn good.
He's been a pleasant surprise, Heck.
No, absolutely. He has 2 doubles, a home run, 2 RBIs. Now he does have 4 strikeouts with a walk, but even still, I think he always gives you a good at bat. And now my question to you is, which I'm talking about, let's keep with the positive. This may turn, I don't know, it could turn anyway, but I think Luis Torrens, man, has made it real hard not to just put Alvy in the lineup when he comes, because Alvy is Alvy, right? And he's the prospect. He's the one with the high ceiling. Torrens is what I think is 28. Yeah. Alvy's 25. That's where the money's at, is with Alvy. But the reality is that Torrens has been good enough, in my opinion, to at least have him earned himself a split duty job. Not where he only plays once a week, not where he's playing 3, maybe 4 times a week, depending on who's hot at the moment. Now, Alvy could come back and just destroy this, right? Because he comes back and we go on a crazy run like we did last year.
And we have an update about Alvy. Do we know anything update, or no? It's still the same prognosis.
Yeah, it's still the same. I haven't heard anything, which, listen, for now, I guess that's good, because the updates that we've gotten haven't been pretty good, which we'll get to a little bit later on. But the updates that we've gotten so far haven't been pretty good. But I think Alvy, the thing of Alvy, he's still on pace. There's been no negative update. There's been no positive update. As far as I know, everything's still status quo with him. But I just think when he comes back, I think Torrens has really made it difficult to just. No, go ahead.
He's been a pleasant surprise, Heck. I mean, like you said, we're sitting here and we're talking about his offense, right? I mean, right. We're talking about his offense. This guy was brought here for his defense. He wasn't brought here for offense. He's never been a hitter. I mean, he's never been known for his hitting. He's been known for, his defense. And what he's giving you at the plate, he's got a home run. He's already got 5 hits. And he's had some big hits. He's had some big at-bats. And he's battling. And if he keeps this up, I don't expect him to keep it up. But if he keeps it up, it's going to make it hard on the Mets front office and the Mets brass to say this guy's got to sit, because he's looking like a seasoned veteran out there. He's thrown people out, like you mentioned. He's already got 3 people he's thrown out already. I mean, what more can you say? Teams are scared to run on him. I mean, he's been that good. So anything you're getting from this guy is just gravy, Hector. So again, I'm happy with it. And, obviously we all want, Alvy to be there at the end of the day. But listen, make it hard for the Mets. Make it hard for them to bring back, just put Alvy back in the starting lineup. Make it hard for them. So that's all I'm at with him. But I'm pleasantly surprised with him.
No. So I can't say that I'm pleasantly surprised, Eddie, because I like the guy. I thought yeah, but you thought even last season, I was like, man, like Torrens deserves to get more playing time. You know what I'm saying? Especially when Alvy started struggling. I'm like, yo, this guy plays good defense, maybe even better defense than Alvy does. Alvy ain't throwing those guys out that he's thrown out. Alvy doesn't throw the
I
second base
think
like
he's
he
got
does.
a faster release than Alvy. You know what I'm saying? Like Alvy's a little
sounder mechanics. He definitely has it. And sounder mechanics.
Yeah, to me, Alvy looks like always looked. He's always looked a little slower. I know he's got a great arm. I know he's great at handling the pitching staff and things like this. But like you said, Torrens kind of just kind of fits that mold a little bit. He could give you a lot.
No, for sure. And yeah, Alvy has the great arm, but he has no accuracy. Most of the time, Alvy's throws are running towards first base, out towards right. Like Torrens throws most of the time are like you catch him and boom, like the runner's right there, like bang, like you're out. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? But listen, it's a long ways from that. The main thing we need is for Alvy to be able to come back healthy. And listen, I was watching Subway to Shea a little bit early on. Shout out to my guy Anthony, host of Subway to Shea, and he was saying, and I agree with him. If these guys stay playing the way they are, I mean, we saw Hayden Senger last night get his first hit, double. The pitching staff has talked well about Hayden Senger and the way he's handled them. The limited time that he's gotten, right? He just got his first start last night. And what Anthony was saying is at least this gives Alvy time. Just take your time.
Right.
And make sure you come back healthy. There's no need to rush. There's no need for him to rush. There's no need for the team to rush him. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that I agree with that and shout Anthony with that. And I'm sure you agree with that too, because at the end of the day, we want these guys to be able to come back healthy. And if you have somebody that's being productive, it makes it easier to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to if the guy's struggling, if you're struggling as a team and they're like, oh my gosh, we need this bat, then you might rush things and it might not be the best thing to do.
Hey man, listen, he's making it hard. So look, we know Alvy's got sick potential, heck. He's got sick potential. I mean, he was the number one prospect in baseball for a reason. But, he's had his injuries. He's had his sophomore slump. So, not everything has been so smooth with Alvy. So Torrens is just for me, I didn't expect him to be anywhere near this type of a player. So to me, I'm like ecstatic with this. I'll be honest. I kind of thought he was a bit of a bum, but he's proven me wrong. He's proven me wrong.
Yeah. Now, it's funny you say that because someone whom we didn't think was a little bit of a bum, who we have high expectations for, someone whom I've been very high on and I've been getting into battles with, and I've been a big proponent of. I was a proponent of bringing him up. I was a proponent of he's not going to struggle in his second year, if you want to call it that. He's not going to go through any sophomore slump, but he's been him lately. He's been a bum all year. It's my guy, Mark Vientos. And he looks totally lost out there, Eddie. He looked totally lost out there last night. That ball that he footed on the third base line that I think is the one that he threw wildly the first, where he probably should have let it go foul, or maybe the one that he threw home. I don't freaking know. The point is, he hasn't looked good, and it has people talking. There were people coming in and they were worried about a Mark Vientos and if he was going to struggle with a sophomore slump. I didn't think so. And it's still too early to make any verdict on any of these guys, whether they look good, whether it's Pete Alonso who's gotten off to the kind of start that he needed to get off to, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? It's too early to say this is the final verdict. But Mark Vientos, buddy, looking very fail.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it, man. I'm not sugarcoating it. I was one of those people that I'm not. Listen, I don't like Mets in their second years. I don't like there's Mets, rookie players coming off a great year going into that second year, because there's been very few guys that keep it up. And, Vientos has looked lost. Let's be honest. He's been lost. And he's looked like shit, not only at the plate, but in the field. And we can't, if we want to win games, we need the Vientos from last year back. We need it because he's a big part of this team. But he's struggling. Not only, like I said, in the field, he makes these boneheaded mistakes. I feel like he's slow a lot of times. I don't know, man. He's got to get it together, though. I'm not cutting this guy slack. I'm sorry. I'm not.
No, and he's always been slow. I don't think he's getting anything to do
No doubt.
about that. But we saw 2 nights ago where maybe it was because he's slow, and he figured I'm going to be out, and for whatever reason he slowed down there right before he got to first base because he was running hard.
Oh, that was ridiculous.
He was running as hard as Mark Vientos can run, right? But then he slows down there at the last 3 or 4 steps, and it's like, what the hell are you doing? If anything, you notice the ball's not getting there, pick it up. And he said the next day that the first base coach, Antoine Richardson, and Lindor spoke to him about it, and Mendy spoke to him about it. He talked about it will never happen again and all of that good stuff. But yeah, he just looks out of it. He looks lost. You wonder if he can, if the pressure's getting to him, if he's trying to do too much. You see him still doing, the same things that he did last year, but he maybe even more with a lot of ground balls, rolling over on ground balls, those high choppers that he hits to third because he completely rolls over on it. And
you're not running the ball out, Hector. That's come on. This is baseball. Not running that ball.
No, for sure.
And that was against what's his name? It was against the Marlins ace, and you don't get too many free passes with that guy. So if you're gonna do this, you can't give him opportunities. When Alcantara's on the mound, you're only gonna get a certain number of hits. You're only gonna get a certain number of pitches to hit. This guy's one of the best pitchers in the league, and you got a hit that was gifted to you, but you didn't hustle. Come on, man. You're in your second year. I understand you're a 10-year veteran not running the ball out. I understand if you're a superstar and you're not running the ball out. But sorry, dude, you've been in the league for 2 years, not even. And you're not going to hustle out the box versus a guy like Sandy Alcantara? Come on. What are we doing here? This is baseball, Hector. Where were you at with that? Were you pissed off?
I didn't like it. I wasn't pissed off, but I didn't like it, obviously. I didn't like it at all. And like I said, this is a guy that I'm a big fan of and that I really root for and that I'm pushing for. So when I see that, it's like, come on, dude. Like, no, I didn't like it at all. And not because of that or anything. Even I don't know if you saw yesterday, I made a post on X that said, people like, it's too early for any of that stuff. Why would you do that? And some people make some good points, right? But I was like, and I wasn't saying that this should happen or that I thought it was going to happen. It was just a feeling that I had where maybe we see Vientos out of the lineup. Vientos out of the lineup today. And I just had that feeling. Obviously, that didn't happen, but we even saw him get dropped in the lineup. But we seen him hit either 4th or 5th, depending on whether it's righty or lefty. So yesterday, it was a righty on the mound. He would have hit 5th. He was instead dropped to 6th. And people were saying, well, you don't want to sit him or anything like that because it's going to get in his head even more, maybe. If anything, you want to give him confidence. And I was like, you know what? I agree with that. As I was writing the post, I'm telling myself, yeah, heck no, you start him, you give him a boost of confidence. He's your third baseman. The kid earned it. He's earned a bad night and all that good stuff. Or a little bit of a slow start and even a blunder like not running out of ground ball.
I don't have a – oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, because I was saying, then you saw him play yesterday, and I was like, you know what? Maybe they should have sat his ass. Because now it may be even worse. A game like yesterday may put him into even a bigger of a funk. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say, look, you gotta play. All right, you gotta prepare. All right, and this guy. Again, I excuse the slow start. That's fine. You could start slow, great. But if you're not running out balls, that's where I have a problem. I don't have a problem with guys just not hitting early in the season. It's early. I get it. You got 24, 25 at-bats. It's a long season. But little things, like watching him not run out the ball. Sometimes on defense, I feel like he lapses. I feel like he doesn't always charge the ball and I feel like he's kind of playing like relaxed. Maybe he feels like he's earned it, but I don't feel that way. Like, yeah, he had a great year last year. He had some of the biggest clutch hits we got, and especially in the postseason. But you're in year number 2. Okay, you're not like I said before. He's not a seasoned veteran. I could forgive the not looking good at the plate. I could forgive all that, but the intensity running, the intensity in the field, that's different. That's different. That's something you could control. I mean, you get what I'm saying?
No, for sure. For sure. Effort, preparation, those are things that you definitely control. Now, the results, sometimes they're out of your hand. Sometimes you hit a bullet, you hit it right at somebody. Sometimes you hit a ball like he hit yesterday. I think it was his first at bat, second at bat. And I thought it was gone. I thought it was going to maybe go to the wall. And it's the right fielder, the left fielders can't be right under it, in left center field. Sometimes you just don't get luck. You don't get any luck. And then if you're struggling, it could just compound that because now you get in your head and you start trying to do things that maybe you shouldn't do. We've heard Nemo talk about that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still confident that he's still going to have a good year. Now, the good players, that's the difference between an average player, a good player, a great player, is how long you stay in the funk for. You know what I'm saying? How long do you stay in the funk for? When we talk about some stuff like that, it's like, I don't know. In my opinion, Juan Soto is really yet to take off, to really be that Juan Soto that we expect. But it's different than Mark Vientos, right? Because you definitely know that's going to happen. And it's right around the corner. It could start happening tomorrow, the day after, but it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? But what are your thoughts on Juan Soto so far and how, he's got his Mets career started?
All right. I'm kind of with you on this with Soto. Soto to me is a guy that's just gonna, he's that good. You know what I mean? And he's been like people call him the generational walker, right? That he's been walking. But that's cool. I'm more than fine. I'm always with it. If you could get on base any way you can, get on base. Do we want to see him crack 3-run homers? Of course. That's what he was brought here to do. That's why he's the highest paid player in baseball.
Sometimes I wonder, Eddie. Sometimes I wonder because when you say like, "Yo, dude, okay, it's okay." I understand what you're saying. You get on base, you take a walk, but I didn't bring Juan Soto here to be a table setter, my dude. No, I didn't bring you here to be freaking Omar Vizquel, Kenny Lofton. Like, what the hell are we doing? I know you're hitting second, but I need you to be a guy that's driving runs in.
But heck, the teams,
you know what I'm saying?
Teams fear him. Teams fear. You could see like the Marlins every time the top of the order comes back, they have somebody out in the bullpen ready to go. Like they're getting they had Vinicio or whatever his name is. Every time Soto was about to come up, they had him warming up, getting ready. Getting that left-hander ready, and that's the effect he's had. Now again, I understand that we're paying him all this money, and I get that. Some fans are probably a little alarmed that he's not taking off the way we thought. But again, I don't have a worry in the world about Soto. I think he's going to just put up his numbers and be Soto. But I think you just got to – I think it's still a little early with him. So I'm not going to get on him. I'm not going to go crazy because he's still been good. He's still been good, and he's still making the other teams are still adjusting to him, and you see it every single time he's about to come up. They're getting somebody ready. So I know you don't like the walks and all that, but this is part of who he is.
It's not that I don't like the walks. I don't need that to be his main goal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a time where, listen, I know this guy is not going to pitch to me. I don't want you to go there and make it an out because you want to force the issue. I don't want you that. But there are also times where, yeah, they're going to be careful, whatever, but they still giving you shit to hit. And because it's not that perfect pitch, you're not going to swing at it. That can be frustrating sometimes because you want to, like, I think there's a time to pass the baton and there's a time to take the baton and handle your damn business. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And I'm going to want to see some of that. I'm not saying that I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it, but I'm just saying,
Well, but heck,
he's yet to take off.
Heck, it's not like he's striking out. He's been okay. Like I don't even look at him as a concern. I think he's changed everything. I think he's the reason why Pete's getting all these pitches to hit. It's because of him. So again, I'm good with it. He's changed his lineup. He's drastically changed his lineup. And it's helping guys like Pete Alonso. It's helping guys like Nimmo. It's helping them because other teams are targeting them instead of Soto. And that's what he's been brought here to do. Yes. Do I want to see? We both want to see home runs. We both want to see doubles. But understand, if they're not going to pitch him and give pitches to hit, he could only do so much. He could only pass the baton, right? But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying where sometimes you got to crack the game open. I'm with it.
No, for sure. And I think also Pete doing what he's doing is making pitchers pitch to him too. Because I keep saying I don't give a damn who's in the lineup. And it's not like Soto's hitting him behind him. He's hitting in front of him. So it's not just Soto helping Pete. It's Soto and other guys also being on base. Because there's been other guys on base too that makes it even harder to walk Pete, right?
Right.
Makes it even harder. But the fact that Pete now is not fishing for that slider, that sweeper, that curveball, whatever the hell it may be, even a cutter sometimes, that lands in the first base dugout. And when he is swinging at them, the ones that are close, he's able to foul them off instead of popping them up weakly to first base or in the infield or hitting a weak ground ball to second or first base. You know what I'm saying? So Peters also has a lot to do with the way that he's getting pitched. I mean, last night, that I forget who the hell it was that was, but he threw him 3-4 sweeper sliders, whatever the hell it was in a row, but Pete was able to fight it off. So, like I've said before, you can have Babe Ruth, you can have Barry Bonds, you can have whoever the hell you want in the lineup, whether it be in front or behind them. If he continuously swings at those bad pitches, they're gonna keep throwing them. Now, if he lays off and if he has success the way that he's been having, then that's when we're gonna have a problem. Because then what the hell do you do?
But that's been the difference. That's been the difference.
That's the difference.
Right. Remember how many times last year or 2022 did we see him swinging out of the box, right? He looks silly. You know what I'm saying? You're not seeing that this year with Alonso. You're not seeing that. He's locked in. And he's fouling pitches off. He's seeing more pitches than normal Pete. You know, and maybe he feels much better now that he's got the contract. You know what I'm saying? He's locked in. You know, I think he was trying too hard last year. You know, and again, I'm going to give credit to Soto here because he's been helping with Soto in the lineup. It helps Pete. You know, pitchers are going to have to, they're forced to pitch to him. Like you said, there's nowhere else to go. You can't put him on base.
Right. Now, what we're going to need also is for Brandon Nimmo to keep up the pace too, because I think that's equally, if not more important, is the guy behind them too. That also makes it hard to put Pete on. So, yes, Soto being in front of him and Lindor eventually, and even the other guys, like there's been other guys that have been doing a good job. We started by saying early on how Torrens started that rally last night, even if he didn't get to score, but he got the hit, you know what I mean? And I forget what the hell happened afterwards, but Nemo's also going to be important. Whoever ends up batting fifth on that night, whether it be, Vientos again eventually. I mean, listen, I think we're going to have to put Vientos too, but anyways, I'm going to leave that alone for now. Really quick.
Day, right?
Say again?
Let's get ready. We're getting counting down the hours, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're going to get to that. But real quick, before you try to, don't get soft on me, because another guy here that we got to talk about a little bit, and I know we're going to say a little bit of, the same stuff. He's going to be okay. He's going to get there. But again, Francisco Lindor to a not so stellar start.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Look, man, I've come to expect it now at this point. I expect him to get off to a slow start. It hasn't been as bad as last year. Last year was worse. So I'm not going to.
Really? I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, but this is not.
20 at bats. It's 20 at bats. I mean, let's not go crazy.
No, you're right.
Let's not go crazy. Look, again, we're what? I mean, what? Today's April 3rd, brother. April 3rd. He's only 20 at bats in. I think he's going to turn the tide. I do. I think he's going to break out. I think so one of these years he's going to have to. And he's a guy that, a lot of the fan base talks about, how he's never made an all-star appearance with the Mets. right? This guy's a 4-time All-Star with Cleveland, I believe. And he needs, he wants to make the All-Star team. Of course he does. You're finishing second in MVP voting. Don't you want to be an All-Star with the Mets? So
I keep saying it. This is part of it, Eddie.
Well, this is the reason he's not been is because he gets up to these slow starts. But I think one of these years, and it might be this year. I might be wrong, but I think he's gonna start hitting sooner than later. I do. For whatever reason, I don't know why.
I just need him to have better at bats, man. Him and Jesse Winker were driving me crazy last night, swinging at sliders at their ankles and in their hips. Sliders, sweepers, again. And sometimes you can't differentiate these damn pitchers. Sliders and sweepers, almost the same thing. I know there's a difference.
Speed breaking ball, we got it.
I've actually learned that, but and it just drives me crazy. And even him, like the last 2 days, he's kind of looked out of it. I've even wondered, like, maybe you should have taken that paternity leave. There would have been nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? There would have been nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying that's why he's playing the way he's playing, but it might have helped him. Who the hell knows? But again, we're not going to make a big deal out of it. We're not going to worry too much about it. I like to see him, like Nimmo, cut down on them damn strikeouts. Put the ball in play. Listen, as bad as Vientos has been, he still only has, what is it? Let me see here. I want to be sure. Shit, he's now up to 4 strikeouts.
Okay.
And a lot of them does that. But he was
How
still
many
able
cases
to.
Lindor have?
6. That's what I'm saying. Him and them will lead the team with 6. Need to cut that down. But Vientos was able to put the ball in play there in extra innings to give us that insurance run last night. So I don't want to hear about the strikeouts. No. Put the damn ball in play. One more negative before we move on to some positive and to tomorrow. And, we're trying to keep it short for you guys because we want to hold your attention span. We don't want to be here blabbering forever. But we can't get away from this guy. We almost forgot to talk about this guy. And that would have been my fault. How much longer is this guy going to get?
I told you. I'm giving him 40. I'm giving him 40 at-bats, Hector. 40 at-bats.
40 at-bats. Let me see.
Yep. So he's probably, I think he's got 14 or 15.
He's got 14 at-bats, yes.
Yeah. So I'm giving him the number 40. After that, hey, listen, man. It's may the best man win. I'm sorry. But he grounds the ball out. He strikes out. He's looked terrible. He's been terrible. And again, this is nothing new. Every time he gets a shot, he blows it. This has been his career as a Met. So again, he's got another 26 at-bats to go, according to my standards. The 40 at-bats. You don't do it then may the best man win.
Yeah. I think it's 6 games in this homestand. Give or take, you get 3 at-bats a game, him, because sometimes he comes out early because of defense or whatever, maybe pinch run, maybe he gets 2 sometimes. So
it's at least 3 at-bats a game.
I think it's okay, because let's say this homestand, he gets maybe 15 at-bats.
Okay.
15 to 18 at-bats, somewhere along those lines. I think that might be it, Eddie. That might not get to your 40, but if he continues this way, like, you can't keep going. And it's not like Acuna's doing much better. No. Acuna has 1 more hit. But Acuna has...
he's 2 for 11.
Yeah, but he has the speed. He has other things. And he has that dynamic defense. Acuna, 2 for 11. Oh, yeah, you're right. 2 for 11. Holy shit. 2 for 11. And they both have played the same amount of games because Acuna's gotten into every game.
Yeah.
But he can impact the game with his defense a little,
speed.
Definitely more, and definitely with his speed. Something that Beatty can't do. So, and listen, we know, at least we believe, and we all want Luis Angel Acuna to be the long-term guy. But you know what at least my objective has been with Brett Beatty, to get him to build up that trade value. You know what I'm saying? I need him to get it to build up that damn trade value. But he's just not doing it.
But get it together, man. Get it together. I mean, he's like a ground out machine. I mean, at least he's putting the ball in play, but come on, man. How many times are we going to see this now? Every time he gets his chance in a major league, he blows it. That's on him. He could get all these, hitting instructors, all these other guys in here, and he keeps blowing it time after time. He's going to have no trade value. He's going to have none. That's where he's at, but that's 100% on him.
Yeah, no. If he fails now, he's gonna be that career minor leaguer, that guy that gets traded for cash or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm
Made up your
saying?
name later.
Yep. So now listen, I'm gonna just throw this out there just because I had it on there as we move on to the pitching. But just because I've heard the last couple of days the commentary, and even last night during my live as I was doing the watch along, people saying, "Okay, that's it for Brett Beatty. He gets maybe 1 or 2 starts. How much longer can you give this guy?" I mean, not for Brett Beatty, for Clay Holmes.
Jones.
I apologize for Clay Holmes. And I'm like, wait a minute. Even last night, it's not like he pitched terrible. You know what I'm saying? It's just he got let down by the defense a little bit. But I think he's been pretty good, and I think he's gonna get a much longer leash than 4 or 5 starts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where this talk's coming from because, frankly, I think Holmes has been good. I mean, look, is he an ace or anything like that? No, but he's been solid. You know, would I like to see him go a little longer in the game? Sure. But, you know, it's very early in the season. It's only his second time through. So let's see what happens. But so far, I liked what I've seen out of Holmes. You know, I have little complaints here and there, but just keep it up. Try to give us 5 innings at least. And that's where I'm at. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy with Holmes. I think he's been okay.
No, I agree. And listen, our pitching overall has been not okay. It's been phenomenal. The pitching has led the way.
Yeah.
As much as this team hasn't hit, we've been in every single game. We've been able to win every single game if we got the right hit, if we got the right timely hit, maybe if we just hit it the whole damn game. And it's because the pitching has been that damn good.
Yep.
You know, all the way around. Now the
Everybody.
starters, yeah, we just, we went through Holmes, two starts. He's a 2.89 ERA. He hasn't given you the innings that you would want. But I think we have to understand this guy's making a transition from a reliever. He hasn't started, I forget since when, but it's been a long time. 2018, 6 years, 7 years, whatever that is, right? Huh?
With the Pirates. That was the last time he started.
Right. So we got to give him time to be able to figure things out. You know, we keep hearing how sometimes he goes back to what he knows and gets locked in on maybe 2 or 3 pitches instead of expanding his arsenal and stuff like that, which is what they want him to do. So he just needs to be able to work those things out little by little. And I think we have to give him a little bit of time. And I think it doesn't matter what the fan says because the Mets are going to give him time.
I'm not even concerned about him, to be honest. He hasn't even – I mean, there's like no red flags with him so far. I get what you're saying. I could see him where he's getting, not pitching, his full arsenal. He's going to have to use it. You can't – he's not in a relief situation anymore where it's 1 or 2 pitches. You get an inning. It is what it is. He's got to just –
That question's for you, Eddie. That question's for you.
Listen, Hector doesn't wear the Blazers, all right? That's it. Hector's got his fan gear on, and that's it. That's the way it's going to be. What do you got? Pete called game? You got the Alonso shirt on today?
Yeah. I figured I honored my guy, Pete. This was from when he hit that walk-off. I forgot against who it was a couple of years ago. So I said, I got to honor my guy, Pete. He almost called game last night pretty much, the way he tied that game. And it was great when he knew that shit immediately, bro. That's a second one that, he just knows right away. It was just like Milwaukee where he screamed like, he did the same thing last night. But
you could hear it too, Hack. You could just hear the sound off the bat.
Yep.
It's going.
Yep.
So.
Yep. But no, man, listen, the pitching's been phenomenal. David Peterson, we've only seen him for 1 start, but he went 6 innings, 5 hits. What was it? 9 strikeouts. He did give up the 2 home runs or whatever the case may be, the 3 walks, but he was pretty damn good. I would say. We also saw Kodai Senga, who gave us 5 innings. Has a 3.60 ERA. Got the loss. Again, it was hurt by the Lindor error. We saw both of them be, very good about it. Lindor apologized to him saying, listen, Lindor has nothing to apologize about. He's been great to me. He's been great to this team. Blah, 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 blah. McGill,
we'll see. Hector, I don't love him. Okay. I think he's a tad overrated by this fan base.
Really?
Yeah, I like him. I like him, but I don't think he's what he's advertised. I think he's a good pitcher. I don't think he's some ace. He's got to do. I'll give him a few more starts, but I'm not in love with him. I'm not.
Okay. How do you feel about Tyler McGill,
I
who
like
pitched
him.
to a 1.80 ERA, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts? Pretty damn good. And he'll be going tomorrow, which a lot of
But
fans did not want to see, but that's what you're gonna get.
listen, Hector, all McGill's got to do is just keep it up. We don't need, again, another guy. Don't need 6, 7 innings at it. Give us 5 innings, 1 or 2 earned runs, keep us in the game, and then by the time, hand it over to the bullpen and hope the lineup gives us enough cushion to take us home. That's it. This lineup is really what's got to turn. The pitching's been there. It's the lineup that needs to really get it together because we've been in every single game. We've never gotten rocked. Our pitching staff has not gotten rocked. Neither has the bullpen. They're keeping us in games. It's on the lineup, heck. That's the fucking problem.
No, absolutely. And just rounding on the starting, Griffin Canning also, doing pretty damn
He was
good.
nice.
Yeah. But then, listen, the bullpen has been great. And I don't have it all in front of me. I know they got up to 9 2/3. I believe it was scoreless inning. I think AJ Minter was the first one to give up a run, or it might have been a run to give up a run in the bullpen, or it might have been Stanek that gave up the inherited run, but it goes
Didn't Danny, what's his name? Danny Young, didn't he give up?
Was he the first one to give up the runs?
I believe so. I think it was him because
You know
he
what,
kind
you're
of
right. In the
he went into
blowout,
that.
right? Yeah, you're right. In the blowout on Monday night.
Yeah.
In the blowout on Monday night, you're right. He's the first one to give up some runs, and then Minter and Stanek gave up a couple of runs. I think what was it, last night or the night before?
I think Minter gave up 1.
Yeah, he Minter even fell off the mound and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
but,
yeah.
But besides that, and Danny Young, who I don't want to say high on Danny Young, but I kind of liked what I saw last year. I thought he had some big moments, and then he struggled at the end or whatever. But I thought we could get something out of Danny Young. He's been horrible.
He's another guy. I don't know.
He's been horrible. He's been horrible, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's off tomorrow and they're bringing Daniel Nunez if he's ready. I saw they signed somebody else too. I forget the name. He's not going to be ready for a little while. He's working his way back, but there's also another option. Now that's not a lefty. You also wanted Danny Young to succeed, so maybe you could have 2 lefties in the bullpen. But he just hasn't been good so far, and I don't know how long he'll get. I believe he's somebody that had options anyways, so he'll probably find himself in the minors. But besides that, you have Jose Buto, who's been great. 3 2/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Came in last night, was pretty damn good. What else we got? Reed Garrett has been solid. We talked about Minter. Max Kranick has been damn good after his debut. Came in the other day, gave us 2 perfect innings. So he has 3 2/3 with 1 strikeout. No runs, no hits, no nothing.
That's been the great thing about this bullpen, man. I think we mentioned this in the last show too, is that we have a couple of guys that could give us 2 innings. That's huge.
Multiple inning guys. Yes.
That's huge. You got and then we have help coming along the way. Once Nunez gets back here, this is a guy that was, a lockdown reliever last year. This guy, it was Nunez, Budo, Diaz last year. That was it, right? 7, 8, 9. This guy,
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So, look, with guys like Danny Young or any else, goodbye. If you can't cut it here, goodbye. Take care. Have fun in the minor leagues. We're looking to win a championship, but I'm not in the road of fucking around. I want to win. So any kind of weakness, anything like that, get lost. We don't have time for it. We can't do it. So, Danny Young, get it together, or you're going to be back in Syracuse.
For sure. Now, one guy who definitely hasn't been a weakness, who's been a strength, who, again, shout out to Ant Subway Shake. I was watching earlier, and I'm with him 100%. Is a guy that when we got last year in the trade deadline, we were like, ooh, maybe this guy could be good. And he wasn't that good. He wasn't so good. And it's Huáscar Brazoban, who last night came in and got his first save. We're in the watch along. I'm sure you were at home watching the game, and you're like, who the hell is going to close this game out once they put it at Diaz there in the 8th? And,
he had a sloppy inning, too.
Diaz.
Diaz was a little sloppy, too. He wasn't,
Right. But Brazoban has been phenomenal as he has 5 innings pitched. He's given up 2 hits.
He's another guy. Give you 2 innings if you need it.
Yeah, he's giving you. I think every time he's pitched, he's giving you 2 innings at least. I think last night was his shortest outing.
Right.
Last night was probably his shortest outing. But 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. I think he has a hit by pitch. Got his first save, like I said last night. He's pitching 3 games, only giving up 2 hits in those 5 innings. Obviously for old ERA. But he's been great. The pitching's been great. The bullpen has been phenomenal, excellent. I don't know what's better. It's just been outstanding. The rotation has been solid. It's been solid. And listen, we come home on a road trip that, like I said to start out, could have been
better.
Disgusting. But it wasn't horrible. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it was saved last night with Pizza Heroics and all that good stuff. But now we come in and we face the Blue Jays tomorrow. Like I said before, and you got Tyler McGill at the mound. Let's see if I can. I'm not sure who pitches for them. I'll try to find that real quick. But what are you looking? What are your thoughts now as we come home? We come home to open it up and welcome the fans and all that good stuff.
Look, we've been waiting for this day for a long time, and it's finally here. Again, listen. Let's get a couple of games where we could score some runs. Toronto is not some world beater team, so we should easily be able to take 2 or 3 from this team. I don't know the pitching matchups. I assume we're going to see Bassett or Scherzer in one of these games. Not sure exactly what the rotation is, but I think we got to at least take 2 or 3 from Toronto. I think that's not even a question. As the season goes on, let's score some runs. The bullpen, we don't have to worry about the bullpen. One thing we know about the bullpen, and we know David Stearns knows how to put together a bullpen. That's been evident the last 2 years. But we got to just score. Because if we score some runs, we're going to win a lot of games. A lot of games. So somebody said Scherzer is hurt. Oh, yeah, I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah, Scherzer's hurt. So tomorrow it's Tyler McGill against Kevin Gausman, who's 1-0 with a 3.00 ERA.
Yeah.
On Saturday, which, listen, for everybody worried about the weather, I was looking at the weather a little bit earlier. This is what I gather. Tomorrow will be perfectly fine. The rain is going on throughout the night, about 3 a.m. till about 10 a.m. or so. After 11, they expected it clear. They even expect us to get some sun. The temperature is going to be, I believe, low 70s, high 60s during game time. So tomorrow is going to be a great day for opening day. It's going to be a great day to be out at the ballpark. Now, Saturday, rain all day. I doubt they'll be able to play on Saturday. Now, obviously, Toronto only comes here once, so they may try to push it. Do you want to play a doubleheader early in the season? Because Sunday is also a day that's going to be good. Maybe not temperature-wise, but there'll be no rain. They'll be able to play. But Saturday, they have – what do we got on Saturday? Where the hell is the Met game? Here we go. So Saturday, we got your boy Chris Bassett going up against Griffin Canning. So Bassett against Canning on Saturday. Bassett,
that matchup favors them.
Yeah, I mean, Bassett is 1-0 with a 1.50 ERA, and I'm pretty sure he's going to want to come over here and try to shove it to us. I forget what we did when we faced him last year.
I like Chris Bassett. I like him.
Fuck Chris Bassett. He's not a Met.
I like him when he was
here. I'm joking. And then Sunday, which, like I said, I think we may end up seeing a doubleheader on Sunday. We got my guy who will be the ace of this staff. Damn it. I see everybody's trying to say that now. Heck, been saying this shit since the wintertime. David Peterson against some Francis dude. What's this guy's first name? Bowden Francis. I think he's pretty good. Bowden Francis goes tomorrow for the Sunday for the Blue Jays with 1-0 record, also with a 3.00 ERA. But those are your pitching matchups.
So, heck, I think the key to the series is get the first game. You got to get the first game. So it's kind of got to win tomorrow. You got to hope McGill keeps us in the game. The offense does their thing because like you said, if we're going to get a doubleheader, most of the times doubleheader you split. Very rarely do you see teams sweep a doubleheader. You know, so I think the key to the series is game one. You win game one, and then you're kind of playing with house money. You get to that doubleheader. If that's where we go, like you said, I don't know if they're going to try to push it or not, but you got to get game one. That you got to get game one.
No, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if they'll push it, but because they only come out here one time, I'm pretty sure they're gonna try to get those games inside. And again, just from me looking at the weather, now we've seen them play. We saw the Yankees play yesterday. If it's a light drizzle, if just like a mist, light rain, they'll try to play right through it.
Yeah,
it's not pleasant for the fans, but the same situation for the Yankees. They were playing Arizona. Arizona's not coming back unless they have to, and they try to avoid those things. But yeah, Tyler McGill, baby, with
that's
his
crazy.
third City Field opening day. Unbelievable. But that's how the cookie crumbles.
Because you know what it is? He's never hurt. And after spring training, he's never hurt. He always gets hurt like a month into the season or so, you know?
Yep. Yeah, Carlos. Yes, sir. You've been there right there with me. But other than that, looking forward to tomorrow. I almost wasn't gonna go, but been kind of forced to go. Shout out to the Lomio, my guy Joel. Shout out to my guy Quasi. They kind of forcing me to head out there tomorrow. So we'll be out there. Looking forward to it. Again, the weather should be okay for the game time. And like you said, I mean, listen, we didn't win the season opening day, but I think they also do well at home during opening day.
Openers,
so let's go get that one and get started off on the right foot. Let me ask you this. I've heard it talked about a couple, throughout the radio, and BT and Sal were talking about it and seen a couple of. Who do you think gets the biggest ovation tomorrow?
Pete Alonso should. He's the one that deserves it. I don't know. Probably Soto, just because of all the hype. This is a fact because he left the Bronx to come here. I gotta think it's gonna be Soto. He's gonna get standing, ovations, man.
Yeah, no, but I don't know, man. I think it might be Pete, and they were saying they think it might be Pete. Pete's got a lot of love, even on the road. These last few games, he got a lot of love in spring training. Yeah, and then the way that he's played, I think Pete might be the guy that gets the biggest.
He deserves it.
He's gonna get it from me. I'll tell you that much. He's probably gonna be the guy that I gave the biggest hand to, because I mean, listen, it is what it is. I do give them guys, but yeah, Pete's gonna get it from me. But I don't know. You got anything else? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm good.
Nah, man. So yeah, man. Let's see what we got here in the comments before we get out of here. But we wanted to do a short one. I mean, listen. How much can you talk about 3 games, right? So as we go on and these off days get a little bit more spread out, we'll break it down a little bit more. But again, overall,
we're so
a decent start. Yeah, good.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's so short into the season, really. There's not much, we can't do a ton of content because we've only seen the small sample size, but we'll see. We'll see the way it is. I'm looking forward to the series. This has been a long day coming. I'm very curious to see the way the crowd reacts to Soto because we gave him all that money and because of the fact he left the Yankees to come here. I gotta think he's gonna get the biggest ovation, but Pete Alonso's won us 2 games, so who deserves it? Pete.
He's the home run guy. You know what I'm saying? Everything that he went through. I mean, listen, maybe they both get it. Maybe he's right up there with both of them. I'm not saying that Soto's not gonna get any love. He's gonna get love for sure, and exactly for what you said. The fans are gonna let him know, like, yo, we love the fact that you came here and left the Yankees and all that good stuff. Now he's definitely gonna get love, for sure. But it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be out there bright and early.
What time you heading out?
I can't believe I'm gonna jump on the subway. But that's what happens when you don't have no car. And I've been on for the ride and all that stuff. But I kind of want to, you know what? What the hell? Take the subway out there. I saw that I got security just in case, motherfuckers. I saw that they're doing like one of those vintage whatever, the Redbird trains and all that good stuff.
Okay.
I think it leaves from the Hudson Yards at noon, 12 o'clock. So I might try to go and get on that. Although I don't know if I want to make it all the way to the Hudson Yards. So I'll have to try to time it. And maybe it's not packed by the time it gets to, Times Square or Grand Central, whichever one.
So there's going to be those old school red cars that are
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
out?
But they only said they made it seem like there's only going to be one, and it's going to be at noon. So I'm like, damn, if you're going to take the subway, why not go be a part of the shenanigans? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I might do that. So if I'm going to do that, then you already know. I'm going to have to probably leave my house to play it safe no later than 11:25, 11:15 maybe. But to play safe 11, even if I get down there a little bit early, I just sit around and wait for that train. But no, man, looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing all the people out there. Got people on X. You're coming to the game, and looking forward to seeing you. And I look forward to seeing them. It's always fun. That's what it's about, man. It's once we get out there, we're all friends, we're all family. We all have, for the most part, we all have the same main goal, right? It's for the New York Mets to go out there and kick butt.
Exactly.
Go out there and kick butt, and that's what we expect a lot of this year. It hasn't happened so far in the way that we like, but that's what we expect to happen this year.
We're coming around, man. We're coming around, Heck. We're coming around. All we got to do is just get this offense, start hitting. Okay, there you go. Carlos really wants you to get some Blazers. Man.
Yeah, Carlos is really on this Blazer thing. I don't know. You better stop smoking that shit because it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, man.
I'm not the Blazer type.
No,
but man, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you guys.
Blazer type, Carlos. Enough is enough.
And there you go. You were enough Blazer for both of us.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Yo, good luck, man. Have fun. Have fun out there.
For sure. I don't know who really does security though, Stan. Me or Sal. But listen, man, you'll be surprised. I've been with Sal at plenty of games. I've been, you know what I'm saying? The people talk smack. It's different when they see, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Everybody shows love. Everybody's asking for a pic. And Sal's a great dude, people. You guys have Sal totally wrong, man. Sal's a great dude. But obviously, everybody's not lucky enough to meet these people. I've been lucky enough to get to know him and spend some time with him. He's just a hell of a guy, man. You're not going to meet many people better than Sal. But it is what it is. He has a job to do. You guys are not going to like everything Eddie and I are going to say either. You know what I'm saying? You guys might like us now, but there's going to be days you're going to hate us. That's why this is Mets Talk Unfiltered, because we're not going to hold back. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me not say that. I was going to say something stupid.
Go ahead. What were you going to say? Come on.
No. I said because I don't believe these guys do it either, right? We're not going to create crap just to gain attention. We're not going to take opposite sides. Listen, we don't prepare before the show. Eddie and I are not before. We get on this crap 5 minutes, 10 minutes before, and okay, what's the topics? What do you got on your? What's on your mind?
The show runs itself.
And most of them are obvious. It's not like we're discussing topics or anything like that, and then we just come in here and we shoot. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna shoot straight from the hip. We're gonna be honest. We're gonna be unfiltered, and there are gonna be times that you can probably think of us the same way you think of Sal. But get off my guy Sal's back.
Well, you know what? The most controversial thing with the Mets that I notice is it's Lindor. Lindor's the guy that creates the most controversy, and he does it to himself because he gets off to these fucking slow starts every year. So I'm just thinking that one of these years it's got to change. So he's got to make the All-Star team one of these years. I mean, come on. We're talking about the best or second best shortstop in baseball. Dude, come on. Get up to some starts.
No, for sure. Let me tell you guys something about Sal. And if he heard this, he gonna kill me. He hates when I say this. I like it. It pissed me off when I was listening and I couldn't call. I texted him today, like, you lucky I couldn't call. I haven't been able to call this week. Because, dude, he was not killing Pete, but he got to show more the day after the Grand Slam. And it's like, yo, lay off for the dude. He just hit a damn Grand Slam. And even today, he's complimenting him. And he's still like, and it's like, yo, dude, we know he has to show more. But let me tell you guys something. When Sal's killing somebody, that's good for us. That's when those guys play well. When he's on someone saying like, yeah, this guy's good, that's when it's bad. When he says the NL East is over, that's when we got to worry. When he says the Mets ain't going nowhere, man, Those are the best times. So don't worry about it. Love you, Sal. Yo, my guy Junior doesn't like my guy Sal at all. What am I gonna do? Two great people, two
Kids,
people I got much love
that's
for,
what it is.
but he just doesn't like my guy Sal. And Eddie's like, why the hell are we talking about the Sal doing the now show? But that's just the stuff that goes on.
So, heck, well, let me ask you, what's your key to the series? What do the Mets got to do
Hit,
to get this series victory? What do we got to do?
hit. They got to hit. The pitching's been there. Hopefully, the pitching continues to be there. Like you said, some of the pitching matches probably favor the Blue Jays. I don't give a damn. We feel we have a good offensive team. Good offensive team find ways to beat the starters, to beat good starters, to sometimes, okay, we couldn't beat the good starter. We're gonna beat your damn bullpen because we're gonna get you out of it. We're gonna get you out of the game. That's what I need to see from this team. Go out there and hit, damn it. Hit.
Hey, heck, I think that's the key to the season. I'm not worried about this. Yeah, I'm not worried about the bullpen whatsoever. The starting pitching staff is going to do their job. It just comes down to how good. I saw that, by the way. It's just this: how good can this offense be? Can they be top 5? Can they be top 3? Because if they are, we're good. We're good to go. Let's see.
No, Cindy, we don't agree. Sal's a friend. I love Sal. Sal's a friend. Sal's a friend. Let's see.
So
Arizona just hit it. Oh,
saying about Lindor. I kind of missed that point.
I got you. Arizona just hit a top 7 grand slam, make it 9-7 in Bronx. Oh boy.
Good.
Oh boy.
Yankees.
You wanted to see. Carlos said, if you look at the shortstop numbers, since Lindor is a Met, you can easily argue he has the best numbers of all of them.
Now, is he talking about?
It's just the stars that kill him, Carlos.
Shortstops.
Yeah.
Shortstops?
That's what he says. If you look at the shortstop numbers, since Lindor is a Met, you can easily argue he has the best numbers of all of them.
I look, I mean, he's got to be the best. If he's not, it's either the kid in Kansas City or what's his name? The kid on the Rangers. That's it.
Seager.
Seager? And the guy on Bobby Witt.
Right.
It's either those are the only two that you're putting him up against. That's it.
Yep.
But again, to get back to Lindor.
It's the slow starts, bro. It's the slow starts.
It's got to stop. He wants to make
the reason why he hasn't won an MVP. It's the reason why he doesn't make an All-Star. It's the reason why he doesn't get put in those rankings as number 1.
Yeah.
It's the slow starts. I'm sorry.
But that's why one of these years it's got to break. That's why I give that take. I gave that take because it's got to break somehow, right? Or is it just going to continue?
Right. No. I want to see it break, but I can't talk about it too much.
Yeah, no, I get it. We all get it. I'm with you, Carlos.
Yep. Well, I think that's it, Eddie. I think it's time for us to get out of here, man. Good show, brother. Good
Do
stuff.
A quickie and that's it, huh?
Yeah, quickie today. Like we said, it's not really much, and we don't want to exhaust things. We don't want to keep going back on and on and on. We've answered some questions. We've looked into the comments. I think we've done it all, man. Go out there, get this offense kicking. Let's see if Juan Soto, maybe with the home cooking now, coming home to Citi Field, where he's been wanting to play as a home player, maybe that gets him going. Maybe Lindor tomorrow gets some love. Now, I'm not with this. Shout out to my guy Diamond Tails. Was it him? And I forget who else. I think my guy Dan Bartles also was talking this standing ovation stuff. Like, come on, guys. What are we doing here? Stop with the nonsense.
For that anyway. Too early for that.
Stop with the nonsense. And it's just like no good. Yeah, how did Cookie do? If they were cruising, I guess he did well. So good for him. Kind of wanted to see him get rocked, but whatever.
Yeah, he sucked on the Mets. Appreciate you, Cindy.
Yes. Appreciate you, Cindy. But yeah, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get out of here. I think we've tried to get out of here like 5 times already, and then we jump into something else. Eddie, thank you, brother. Good night. Thank you to the chat. As always, you guys already know how it is. LFGM, baby. LFGM. Everybody have a good night. Peace.